Wind energy is a common form of energy that dates back to BC times. Wind is a natural form of energy that has been finding more use as technology improves. Although wind does not supply the most amount of energy compared to other forms of energy, it is a safe and clean form of alternative energy. Wind energy helped old civilizations such as in Persian water and grain systems. Wind energy helped Persians pump water and grind grain between 500 and 800 BC. Cultures began harnessing the power from wind this early for water and food production, so they did not have to implement so much manual labor into it. Civilizations began implementing more and more wind power, and eventually, the use of windmills spread from Persia to the surrounding areas in the Middle East, where windmills were used extensively in food production. Even in old civilizations, they were able to harness the energy of natural forces and further their technology innovation and growth. Later wind power technology expanded around 1000 AD, spreading north to European countries such as the Netherlands, which adapted windmills to help drain lakes and marshes in the Rhine River Delta. As time passed, wind energy found itself more present in cultures to aid in sustaining life. Wind energy had been found in early cultures, but in the last century it had been very evident in modern civilizations. Windmills began finding more use in the American West in the mid to late 1800s. Later through in the 1890s and early 1900s, larger windmills called wind turbines began appearing on hills in Denmark. However, in the 1950s, most wind turbines in the United States were shut down because of disuse. But after the skyrocketing oil prices, research and development in wind energy had also began to be more prevalent. By 2007, wind energy had been able to power roughly 2.5 million homes and makes up to 5% of the renewable energy used in the United States. Wind energy has found its place in the United States supply of renewable energy and looks promising for the future of renewable energy. As technology improves, wind energy continues to expand to greater and greater lengths. Early forms of wind collection, such as windmills, used by the Persians were usually standalone and pretty basic. As technologies improved, wind turbines have grown to generate the most energy possible. Wind turbines now are placed in grids that can power a much larger scale. Wind turbines are the most used collection of wind energy. With new technology advances, the wind turbine was created, and it uses the idea that a motor can use energy to spin the blade of the turbine only in reverse. So what the wind turbine does is uses an external force, in the case wind, to propel the blades to spin. The spinning of the blades creates energy which is stored as electricity. The blade acts much like an airplane wing. The wind blows in the blade of the turbine, then a pocket of low pressure air forms on the downwind side of the blade. The low pressure air pocket then pulls the blade toward it, causing the rotor to turn. This process is called lift, and the force of this lift is much stronger than the actual force of the wind put on the front of the blades, which is called drag. Lift and drag both act on the turbine to spin the rotor much like a propeller. As the rotor spins, a generator connected to the turbines creates electricity. Wind energy is not a high-cost form of alternative. In fact, it is one of the most affordable forms of electricity today. There are no fuel costs involved with wind energy, being a renewable resource. Consumers of this form of energy can lock into long contracts from 20 to 30 years with the known electricity rates. The technology of wind turbines are improving, including lower cost wind turbines, increased performance, and advanced operations. With new technological innovations, harnessing wind energy has never been cheaper. The costs involved with energy are capital costs, capacity factor, and operating costs. Capital costs involved with harnessing wind energy include the production of wind turbines, which is a single cost component and can make up to 70% or more of the entire cost of land-based wind project. The remaining capital cost involved is the cost of installation. But capital costs have seen recent reduction, which significantly reduces the overall cost of harnessing wind energy. More innovation with wind towers, such as taller wind towers and longer and lighter blades, have made it much easier to collect higher quality wind resource. The operation costs involved with wind energy come solely into the monitoring and and maintenance to optimize performance from specialized wind technicians and operators. Although it does require specialized personnel, the operating costs are not very significant because with innovation of technology, wind energy has become a very problems